everyone, welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I'm sorry that I missed you last week. I hope everyone had a wonderful Saturday and I hope that you snuck in some scrapbooking even though I wasn't there with you. And no, it's not Christmas here in Canada yet, so nobody get shocked. It was just a spare little box that I had. So let's see, little quick update. You're gonna have to like watch my hands for 5 minutes. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Thank you for all your comments, all your love. Totally appreciated. I'm sending all those good vibes right back and I'm thanking you kindly. It's summertime here, which is just as rare as finding a diamond under your pillow in the morning when you wake up. I don't know why I said that. That's so awkward and random, but that's just the way my brain thinks. And so, to be honest with you, my scrapbooking time has been cut down in half. One, because it's summertime and I really love enjoying the outdoors with my kids. And two, someone at my work retired, so I'm working a little bit harder. And three, my sister's having a baby. Yes, my baby sister's having a baby. She's 29, so she's baby to me because I'm 39. So, and we're so excited. I'm so excited. And I'm going to be throwing her a baby shower. Yay! So she's due in October. And I got to get on this. So I am making her her baby invitations. Ta-da! This is my prototype. And she's going to have a boy. Yep. And I know some of you out there are probably thinking, oh, she's going to have a boy, and what if it turns out to be a girl? Well, we're still going to love the child and bring the child home and be happy, and, you know, but for now they say it's a boy and we're all happy with that. So, I didn't really, it's not only just because it's a boy that this theme goes really well, it's just nice that Tiffany blue type, you know, look is really classy, and so that's kind of what I'm going with. So I have two different types of paper here. If I flip it over, I think you can see the color difference. This is actually Recollections cardstock because I ran out of this paper, and this is Staples cardstock. And the reason why I really like the Staples cardstock is because I use the Sizzix embossing folder, and you're all gonna hate me, but I don't know what this one is called. There's a stray piece of hair there, sorry. But I just love it because it gives you that quilted look. But with Sizzix, what I find is that their embossing folders are a lot deeper. They're almost like a Tim Holtz embossing folder where the embossing itself is very, very deep. So what that means is if you don't have cardstock that is heavy enough to withstand or handle that type of embossing, it will rip through your paper. So for the Staples cardstock, it's awesome, and I like it because there's a bit of a sheen to it too. I don't know, it was really good. And this one came from the Cape Cod Recollections paper pack. So there's different shades of blue and a beige in there, and it's just fabulous because it just goes so well with the dark navy ribbon that I have here. So I always do a prototype one. So this is my prototype one, and I learn from the first one that I do. Sometimes I get sad because it is such an intricate card, and you know, there's no right or wrong way. I didn't copy this from anybody else. This is from my own head. So if somebody else has done this before, well then great minds think alike is what my tagline is going to be. And so basically, I'm going to do, for my other cards, I'm not going to put the ribbon this far down because the tag sticks out so far, because the tag was really a last minute decision. I just kind of wanted to add it on there and it kind of turned out great. So what am I going to explain to you? I use this Studio G stamp that I have that has a baby rattle, and it says welcome to the world, little one. And basically all I did, and you can see because I didn't even wipe it out because I still have to do some more, but I only used the Heidi Swap ink pad in navy, and I only tried to go on the edge as much as I could, and then I either used my fingertip or a paper towel to compensate for just the bottom part of the rattle so that I could neatly stamp on these tags so that all it would read would be "Welcome to the world, little one." Then I got some just generic brand safety pins, and I bought a whole bunch of little pearl beads that you find them in the jewelry section, and it's really honestly from the dollar store, so it's nothing, you know, crazy, but I bought them in 2 different sizes. And so for the safety pins, I chose to use 1 larger pearl and then 2 smaller ones on the side. And I don't know what size these safety pins are, I'm sorry, but I chose silver versus gold because I think silver is the theme. And then for the cake, I believe I'm going to use like a little silver, not a little, but a medium-sized silver rattle to place on top. And so that's kind of where, as I digress back again, where I got the idea for the cards is because my sister-in-law is going to be making the cake, and she's going to be using fondant and making that quilted type look. So this was the easiest way for me to mimic that quilted type look. So basically, the reason why I'm sharing this is for 2 reasons. 1, so that you know what I'm using my spare time for and that I'm not ignoring you guys and that I miss you desperately. And 2, so that you maybe, if you're making cards, whether it's baby shower invitations or any type of invitations, I'd like to let you know what I do. And so basically I do things in batches. As you can see, I stamped all of my tags all at once. I just put on a TV show, stamp, stamp, stamp. Same thing with my ribbon. Using my prototype card, I tied this around the card once, I untied it and knew that that was the measurements that I needed. Maybe I added a little bit more to it because sometimes I go a little bit crazy when I'm cutting things and you know, you don't want it too short. And then I cut out all of my ribbon. Then I cut out all of my cards to a normal standard, you know, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Oh, is it 4 1/4 by 8 1/2? Yes. Don't ask me. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when it's a card. A2 size, is that what we call it? Yes. And so that's what I did. And then so the first thing is I cut out the cards and then I scored them, but I didn't fold them yet. And then I placed my embossing folder just to the point where I left maybe, I don't know, a centimeter or 2, so it wasn't fully all the way to the top because I didn't want the scored portion to be too broken up by any more embossing because the paper won't handle that much pressure and embossing to it. So that you can see the embossing runs off the end of the card, but at the top there's a neat little space that allows the embossing to start. So then after that, upside down with my card with the embossing side facing down, I then took my bone folder and forced the crease on that. So another tip is that, even though I'm showing you with this one and I'm using it so much, is that you don't want to handle the cards too much. You want to keep them as crisp and as neat. And even though, you know, I've already folded the score lines, you do kind of want to let the paper be lazy for now. That's what I call it, because when you do any kind of crafting, you really have to train your paper to do what you want it to do, but only towards the end. But when you're talking about invitations, you do want to let that paper be lazy until the end, because then when your recipient opens it, it's always in that pristine condition. Second thing, or third or fourth, I'm not sure which one we're on, is all the stamping that is required on the card. So for me, on the inside, the outside says, "Welcome to the world, little one." You open it up, "You are loved," is what I stamped on the inside, and I will tell you why in a second. On the outside, I used another Recollections Dream Big stamp, just because I like to complete the backside of my cards. And then at the bottom, it's got my Scrap Saturdays stamp, which I don't know where I put it, but it's somewhere. And again, it's just so that, you know, people know who made it, because that's me. And basically when I make invitations, I never print the invitation on the inside. So I don't know if you've seen my past videos. If you want to look back, I've got my sister's wedding invitations there, some of my kids' birthday party invitations, and I don't do the invitation on this card. What my style is that the invitation itself becomes a gift that, you know, gets passed along to someone else, whether the recipient chooses or the guest chooses to use this to give to my sister, and then it's one less thing for them to shop around and get a card for the baby shower, which makes me happy. It doesn't matter. Or they can in turn use it to, you know, bring a smile and a good gesture to somebody else. So to me, that's kind of, you know, twofold. I make it, you receive it, and then I tuck in, you know, all the invitation information, and at the bottom I always print, you know, here's a card for you to pass along, to use and share as you'd like. So that's kind of a Monica style thing, and it makes me feel better that, and I know this is horrible because I don't want to say it like as if this is what you do, it's wrong, and that's not what I do on you know, YouTube, but it's not about being wrong or right. It's just about ideas and being inspired. It just makes me feel better that there's going to be use of this card and not that it's just straight going to go to, you know, recycling or wherever it is that people go. And I'm okay with that, because that's another challenge too. Most people that are not crafters, and when they do see my cards or they do see anything, they think, oh my goodness, Monica, what? People are just going to throw that away and you did so much work. And it's like, it's okay, because I've relinquished that guilt. So that was what we talked about. It's a hobby. I do it out of love and I give it out of love, and I don't expect anything back in return. And that's the whole thing. It's about giving, giving, giving. And then it's just the good vibes in my body when I make it that I receive, and that's good enough. And then you just relinquish it. It's just like anything, right? We have children and then we give them out to the world, and then we sit on our porch with our kitty cats all by ourselves. You know, you make beautiful things and you give them away, right? Ow. I'm on a tear today. Okay, so basically, the assembly of the card is going to be like this. And so I just have to clear my throat. So give me 1 sec. So basically, from my prototype, I think I want to raise it 1 bar up. Or no, yeah, 1 bar up would be this row where the 3 pearls are. So then I would train myself, because hopefully, you know, I was embossing somewhat in on a good run where most of my embossing was done well. And you know what? I should not be using this card because this card has not been stamped. It's this one, right? Yeah. I have 2 batches going on, only because I guesstimated on how many invitations I needed, and it turns out that I needed more than what I was making. Okay, so tying ribbons I'm good at, but it's not my favorite thing. I make pretty decent bows, but you know my style. I'm not too fussy, so I'm trying to aim for this 3rd little cross. And basically what I do is I flip my ribbon so that the sheen is on top, and when I cross it over, both of my ribbons have the sheen on top, right? So if there's a better video out there, go for it. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And then with the bottom one, I create my shiny loop, but my center one will not be. It's going to be the duller side. Duller? I don't know how to say that. The non-shiny side of my ribbon. And I try to keep my ribbon as tight, like so my bow is really tight, and I force the shiny side of that other 2nd bow again, and then I really squeeze it as tight as I can, and then I manipulate the 2 little tails as best as I can. Okay, and that's the bow that I get. And I'm okay with, like I said, there might be videos out there that you can get these tails perfect, or yes, you can come around and you can use hot glue and you can manipulate, and there you go, and you can have 2 shiny sides of your ribbon. And again, it's all about taking the time to play with it. There's no easy way. It's all about manipulating the ribbon, using your fingertips, twisting it around, and then if you want to use some glossy accents, I would say hot glue, because A, it's faster, it's less time, and B, it's just, you know, it is what it is. So I'm not going to cut these tails until the end. I learned my lesson. I felt that with my prototype, love saying that word, it sounds so professional. With my prototype, I felt that I cut it too close, right? So live and learn. That's basically what I can tell you. I'm now going to gently open up my card so that I can have a more flat surface. As I say that, it's not really that flat, is it? And I'm going to be using glossy accents, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to just gently fill in that little cross triangle in the center. And now that I want a baby pearl, all I'm going to get is big pearls. Now, these pearls do have holes on both sides. I'm going to try and make sure that when I lay down this pearl, I'm laying it down so that the holes are facing the side, so that when you look at it straight on, you're not looking at the threading holes. You're just looking at the pearl itself. Now, glossy accents is amazing to secure things like this down. The only negative to it, as I lose this little pearl, is that it will show up. It will show up clear. So you don't want to put too much, because you don't want to take away the attention from your pearl or the rest of your invitation. And how many of these do I have to make? 90. Yes, you heard me right. So I'm gonna be in this room for a long time. 90. It's just because I'm talking to you right now and it seems to be like it doesn't go by that fast, but it does. And so glossy accents is a little bit forgiving. It does allow for you to, you know, work around it. But I'm really having bad luck here with these pearls. So you can kind of plan ahead with it. And it doesn't help that my, you know, fingernails are long, but, or if you had one of those sticky tool things, you know, the silhouette sticky tip tool, I'm pretty sure that it would make this go by a lot faster. Or you can bribe all of your friends and family and kids, and they could do them for you. But if it's not soothing and relaxing, then it's not your thing and you shouldn't be doing it. That's what I say. It's okay. But if you're a hardcore crafter and you enjoy it, then by all means, get out your pearls and go for it. But I mean, we have a very large family. That's why we have so many invitations, and it's difficult to say, you know, some people don't understand. They're like, oh my goodness, why are you inviting so many people? That is our basic family. When I have my siblings over with their kids, you know, all of us together, we are about 20 some. So, and that's just siblings and parents. So coming from a large family with aunts and uncles and cousins, and then you add in friends and, you know, co-workers, because, you know, co-workers are important too. You see them every day. And for my sister especially, her co-workers have been through her, and she wanted to get pregnant, and watching her go through all those, you know, months of planning and hoping and waiting. So, you know, sometimes your co-workers and your friends and your YouTube community become people that are just as special to you as family, if not more. So everybody needs to come and welcome the baby and spread their good cheer and lots of love. And so here is where it becomes a little tricky. There is a little triangle underneath this tail for right now, because I've chosen not to cut it down. And I am going to add a pearl to that side. And so, what did I do on this card? Did I go all the way to the bottom? Yes. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to hold this tail up while I fish out another pearl for this one. And then, this one's kind of tricky because the way I embossed it, 2 of them are even and 2 of them are not. But we're going to go for it. Yes, we are. And I'm almost done this one card. Okay, so there you go. 89 more to go. No, I'm not going to make you watch, don't worry. And then of course, I've got my safety pin here, and then my little tag. Now, these tags already came with this floss on them, and I love them. I think I'm going to make thank you tags out of them as well for, I guess, the little treats and favors. That's what you call them, favors. Oh, that's what I did. I think I unthreaded it for that one. Yes, I did. And I kind of did that, you know, loop through. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm on camera or not, so forgive me. So then I think I didn't want it to show so much like it does on my prototype. I think I wanted it to be a little bit more hidden, so I'm going to kind of play with you and see. I didn't want it to overlap the bow that much. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to bring that up a little bit higher so that it sits like that. And I like that so much more. And then, of course, I'm not showing you, but you know how to feed your pearls through your... And so the safety pin obviously resembles or represents... did I lose a bead somewhere? I lost a bead. Gonna have to re-stick one down here. Quality control. Rotate that one more. I don't want it to show so much. Okay. So you can determine how much tail or how much not tail you do or don't want on both of everything, or however you feel that you want it. And so now I'm gonna go for it, people. I'm gonna cut my ribbon. There you go. And again, these things, some of them, most of them are personal preference. It's basically what you want to see out of your tails and your folding. And then that's it. That would be my new card. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're inspired. My bow turned out pretty good. I'm impressed. I think that's good. Let me see, can you get any closer? Look at that. I'm gonna learn to use this camera. I am. Okay, so thank you so much for all your comments, all my subscribers. Have a wonderful summer. I'm excited for this new little boy that's coming, and the gift of life is so wonderful, and I'm sending out lots of blessings to anybody else out there who's expecting your babies, you know, at the end of the summer or right now. And oh my goodness, I lost another pearl. It's gonna be a long night, people. Long night. I should have pressed down on them a little bit harder. I was just doing it for video purposes. I should always press on them a little bit harder just to reinforce that glossy accents. And there's my little lonely straggler. So yes, you can do it too. You can make things in batches, and that sometimes makes it a little bit easier. I got cut off. So I'm leaving the pearls for last. I don't know if I repeated that, but we're gonna go with it. And I don't know, I'm having a good time. It's a lot of fun. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I never say thank you enough. I really mean it when I do say thank you. Have a great time. I will be making process videos here and there. I promise, I promise. And just bear with me because I'm a little bit busy right now. So yeah, have fun. Have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. And I hope that this helped you and inspired you to make some cards too. Have a great day, guys.